Person one loves person two. Guess what? Shenanigans ensue. Person one hates person two. Guess what? Still shenanigans ensue. Person one fake dates person two. Guess what? You guessed it. Shenanigans ensue. Co-host one reports to co-host two. The name of the show? Shenanigans ensue. Yeah. Hello, I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Jane, and welcome to Shenanigans Ensue.
A podcast where, you know what doesn't say Merry Christmas? A colitis flare-up.
Yeah, definitely doesn't.
The fact that that's in a film makes me feel very seen.
Each episode will watch a rom-com and discuss its merits as a member of the rom-com genre.
We'll cover well-worn classics, hidden gems, and everything in between.
We'll give you our unsolicited opinion on every trope, caper, and flim-flam the film used, or maybe abused.
And of course, the
Shenanigans.
Today we have a very exciting special episode.
Yes.
And that's because it's Jane's birthday episode.
It's my birthday episode.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm not going to touch anything about my existential dread.
Oh, okay. Yay.
Yay. We are doing the usual tradition of A Christmas in July.
That's right. And also, as is tradition, Jane gets to pick the film. So what are we watching today?
We are doing a Netflix original. One of the films we didn't get to last year because, goodness, a lot came out last year.
Yeah.
So we are doing Meet Me Next Christmas.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Pentatonix.
Sponsored by Pentatonix is the first thing I wrote on my notes for this one. If you look up the film, which I didn't do, Jane did, it does say featuring Pentatonix. And you think to yourself, cool, there's going to be some Pentatonix music. No, it's half Pentatonix. The film doesn't exist without Pentatonix. It is a love song to and from Pentatonix.
Written and directed by. When I pitched the movie to Jasmine, I said, I think it features Pentatonix somehow, but I'm not entirely sure. 6 seconds into the film, I was like, wait, hold up.
Before we've seen any of the characters, while we're rolling into the opening montage, we are serenaded by the smooth stylings of Pentatonix.
Wild.
That was very confusing. Why bother giving us cityscapes of Chicago when you're basing the film in New York?
I was so confused. And it turns out it's because Layla is flying from Chicago to New York at the start of it.
That still doesn't really explain it.
I really thought we were getting a film set in Chicago.
Exactly. That's why you ought not to have done that. Don't give a city montage of the city that we're not going to be in. Also, don't show me city montages if you're going to make it blatantly clear that this isn't actually filmed in New York.
Yeah.
You can't play me.
Because I noticed. So if I notice, and I generally don't pay as much attention to those things, I was like, Jasmine's going to have a lot to say about this.
I'm going to get into that in the shenanigans. But first, I will give everyone the plot synopsis. Layla and James share a meet-cute when they're both stuck at an airport on Christmas Eve.
A year later, Layla enlists the help of concierge Teddy to get a ticket to the Pentatonix Christmas Eve show, where she and James agreed to meet.
Shenanigans ensue! Yay!
Yay!
Why?
Christmas magic and stuff.
This was just too convoluted.
The arrangements was so stressful.
Yeah, and you can't make the secondary meet-cute that we're not going to make good on better than the meet-cute of the actual couple. I don't understand the logic behind it. I don't understand why you've made Teddy look like he's lost when he is in that airport lounge. Why did you put the other guy in his fancy suit and make him seem like the significantly more appealing love match? And then you're going to put Teddy in not only more casual clothes, which isn't the problem, but hood up, being weird and dodgy at the buffet table. Why did you do this? You made the actual love interest less appealing.
Because they're trying to make it seem like he's not going to be the actual love interest, even though we all know that he is. I think they're really trying to trick us.
But you didn't trick us. You just made it seem like Layla's bonkers. I don't know. It was weird. It's very interesting to me. I was like, this meet cute is way too intense. We don't even need the Teddy stuff.
You just will cut the whole love triangle.
Yeah, have her go on an adventure with her bestie to get the tickets and have her end up with James. Cut the love triangle. It's not necessary. It's already messy enough for her to do something based on a whim from a guy you met a year ago.
I don't know.
That's enough of a film. Why? Why do all of this? Also, it means that we didn't get any more Roxy time, which is bullshit.
She's great.
I love her.
It was kind of weird that the guy who she's doing all this for in the film was, as an actor, probably on set for like a maximum of 2 days.
Right.
Like, we don't see him again.
Yeah. It's completely illogical that he would even end up at that concert in that case.
Oh, I have so much I want to talk about that and the shenanigans.
Everything about this is so confusing. Thank you so much for getting what I'm saying. But before we get into all of that, let's hit the tropes.
Let's do it.
We have multiple meet cutes. We have music doing the most.
The most.
Oh, yeah. I think maybe the most it's ever mosted.
It's so unhinged.
Because it's sponsored by Pentatonics. If they're not a producer on this film, I'm going to be shook. We've got a love triangle. We have a best friend. We have teaching someone to do something. We've got a dramatic chase. We have a grand romantic gesture. Maybe my favorite part of the film. And a grand romantic speech. Wow.
So much.
Yeah. I would say I'll add in my, mini montages.
Yeah. I mean, we would be remiss if we didn't start with music doing the most, just because.
Please, go. Go for it. That's all you.
Like we said, starting off so hard with Pentatonics. And they're singing, "It's the most wonderful time of the year." Boom! Planes are cancelled. And then I only wrote down 2 instances of this, but the group throughout are singing random phrases in unison.
In 6-part harmony, or however many of them there are.
Yes, it's so much. After having this whole conversation of how all the tickets are being sold out, we get this really funny bit of all the members in the group saying why they need tickets for all these friends and family members and facialists. And then they sing, "It's so hard to be a household name," which is crazy.
And every time they sing this creepy harmony that comes out of nowhere, nobody's hit a tuning note, nothing. We're just jumping in cold and they nail it every time.
Yes.
Their manager is like, "Please stop, this is creepy. I don't like it."
Please stop doing this.
That's the most realistic thing about the film is somebody would just be like, "Oh, that's weird."
Yeah. And then when they do it, when Teddy gets backstage to play Santa, she's just so run down by all of this. She's just like, "Yeah, they do this all the time. It's super weird and super annoying."
Yeah.
Another instance of what they sing. And it's just mid-conversation. They'll be having a full-on conversation with their manager and then they'll just start singing. Another thing they sang was a potential Christmas love story. How are they even picking a melody or anything for this?
Yeah.
Like Jasmine said, no starting note, nothing. It's just perfect every time.
How come you guys know the lyrics? A potential Christmas love story is extremely specific of a thing to say.
And then the last instance that I'll talk about is Pentatonics' rendition of This Christmas is what Layla uses to introduce James to the group because he's unfamiliar.
Mm-hmm.
And when she and Teddy go to get this ticket from this guy she met on Craigslist, it starts playing and she's like, "It's a sign. This is the song I used to show James about the group. It's meant to be." And then Teddy's like, "Or it's just a Christmas Spotify playlist."
Girl, that's a playlist.
Of course it is.
You gotta stop believing in signs if you showed up and this scalper has a ticket from last year. Or those signs are leading you astray. That's what's happening.
Where do you want to go?
I'm gonna do teaching someone to do something. This is the most unhinged part of the entire film. I think everyone needs to understand that. Because we only mentioned a few tropes as like primary tropes of the genre, but when it comes to, what would I call this? Plot devices? This film uses every possible Christmas story plot device. And it's too many.
They just didn't do the mistletoe.
I could have sworn I remember someone doing a solo picture by themselves under a mistletoe.
I don't remember.
In a quick montage moment. Oh, yes, they did. When she couldn't get back to New York in time at the very beginning, her then boyfriend posts on Instagram a picture of him by himself under a mistletoe with crying face emojis.
Oh my word.
Because he is a walking red flag. Way to make the fact that she's stranded on Christmas about you, my guy.
I missed that so completely, to the effect that I first thought it was her brother who she went to Pentatonix concerts with every Christmas Eve. And so I only figured it out was a boyfriend when we jumped a year later.
Yeah, because there was zero chemistry and it also felt really weird.
Yeah, I really thought that they were siblings.
That's so funny.
Anyway, back to teaching someone to do something.
Oh, right. So these plot devices are just absolutely bonkers. We do a bunch of other stuff in their search for those pentatonic tickets. The point where the film, I think, kind of went off the absolute rails is when the tickets aren't working out. They end up at Roxy's house in Harlem, and Teddy gets a text message from his cousin who has tickets. When they get there, there are no tickets. There's been a switcheroo lie because Teddy's cousin wants to coach them in a lip sync battle so that they can win the tickets instead.
Insane.
Unhinged. And so they get there. Number one, Teddy's mom is going to make him start cooking immediately. Like, he was not planning to show up there. Why does she have all of the stuff for creme brulees? Okay, well, he's going to go make creme brulees for mom now. And he's going to teach this self-proclaimed non-cook how to do a creme brulee of all things. Okay, sure.
Of all things.
A very complicated dish. Sure. And the reason why I want to talk about this trope is because it's lumped together with all of the other weird things that happen all at once. We're going to have the cousin who steals the show. We're going to meet mom who tells the son that he needs to live his life.
It's so much.
We're going to do a dancing montage. We're going to do a makeover with her in a wig. Like, we do so many things in such a short amount of time. I just wrote, why are we lip syncing for our lives? Why is there a dance montage? Why is the cousin stealing the show? Why is there a cooking montage?
There's so much going on.
Pick a lane.
Pick one of them. Just pick one.
And this was after all of the other things that we already just did. Okay, I'm getting into the shenanigans now, so I'm going to stop. We'll get into it in a second. Is there any more tropes that we want to hit?
Just touching back on the teaching someone to do something is, it was so unnecessarily sultry, the way to teach someone to cook. Why are they standing so close? Like, why is he standing behind her? I've taught many a person how to do a thing in the kitchen. Like, it's not necessary to be that close.
No.
It's so funny.
We already did the he's a sexy cook thing in the best friend's house.
Yeah.
Why are we doing it again?
I would like to talk about I don't know now. It's a toss-up between the dramatic chase or the grand romantic gesture.
Do them both.
Okay, we'll do that dramatic chase. She suddenly decides, no, she's going to go all in for Teddy and is in the cab on the way to the show. And, you know, the traffic is atrocious because of course it is. It's Christmas Eve in New York City. So she runs out of the cab in her stunning red dress and her high heels. And she's frantically running towards the venue. And she's like, Teddy. And she sees the other Santa who was let go just for that night for being a drunk. And she just rushes over. Girl, it's Christmas Eve. There are how many Santas around and about? What are you doing?
Yeah, why is that the one you think is the right one?
And of course, it's not Teddy. So then she rushes to get her ticket. And then she rushes to the stage door, and the security is actually doing a very good job and is not swayed by love and won't let her in because she doesn't have a backstage pass.
I love that security guard.
Yes, me too. He's great. And I was like, why are you trying to get backstage now? You know the show is about to start.
You have your ticket. Go watch the show.
I understand it was because she wanted to declare her love for him and make him think that she didn't pick James and she's choosing him. But the chances of meeting up with James as well are so remote, which I'm holding on to. I'll get to it in the shenanigans because I have so much to say about that. But the point is, she does all of this stuff at stage door while Teddy is giving his speech. So she kind of misses it. We're getting so many dramatic chases wrapped up into one. Then she runs back through the foyer where one of the ushers tries to stop her and is like, no, you can't go in until intermission.
Bullshit. This is a concert. It's not a play.
Exactly.
Doesn't make any sense. Let her go in. Who cares?
Of course you can go in with the concert. People are going in and out of concerts all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's like, oh, I don't care. I'm not being paid enough for this. And like, just lets it go.
Why did he grab her coat? And why did she abandon her coat?
Is she ever going to get it back?
No.
She's running down the aisle after we had that awkward pause because he thinks that she's like staying silent because she's picking James. And then she bursts through the doors.
In her perfect, gorgeous gown that she
Yes.
got from mysterious rich people we never see again.
That would have been a fun payoff if we saw them at the concert, right?
Yeah, because they have tickets. They're going.
Of course.
Presumably, since they didn't give away the ticket, even though that was his mom's anyway, so they still had extra tickets.
Yeah.
We should have seen them kiss. We should have
Yes.
panned over to the couple and his mom.
Teddy is also stripped down from his Santa suit and is in this beautiful red suit. So the two of them are matching. It's so funny. That's the dramatic chase. It's very dramatic.
Yeah, it is. And all during that dramatic chase, poor Teddy is giving his grand romantic speech to no one.
Oh. There's so much with this silly show. Like, they telling him to be Santa and go up on this scaffolding without any kind of rehearsal. He's going up for the first time in the middle of the show
Yeah.
as the show is in progress.
Where's the lift operator? He's not operating that by himself.
Right?
That's an insurance nightmare.
He's trying to deal with his fear of heights, which we actually do establish. All the while, Pentatonix is very awkwardly waiting for Santa Claus to come down.
They cover it so well.
They
They make
really
the audience
do.
start to join in the song. It's cute.
They do a good job. And the manager's like, do you want to do your grand gesture for the school or not?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I am really trying to figure out why this film so heavily features Pentatonix.
Are you trying to see if they're producers?
Yeah.
We looked it up, and Meet Me Next Christmas was released on the 6th of November 2024. Pentatonix had a show at Madison Square Garden on the 26th of November 2024. So is it just a massive ad for the concert?
Right? This is so confusing to me. And now I'm looking. In 2022, they had a holiday themed like documentary that they did with Disney.
Okay.
Holiday concert documentary called Pentatonix Around the World for the Holidays that they did in collaboration with Disney. Is their manager just trying to do a bunch of films for them?
I don't know. I would love to know what the negotiation of this was.
Oh my gosh, as I'm scrolling through the New York Times, if you see the review, the byline that makes it onto the Google search is just the Netflix Christmas rom-com inexplicably wants to remind viewers that the group Pentatonix still exists.
It's very interesting
Yeah.
as a choice.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a fan per se, but I do enjoy their music, and I think some of like the compilations that they do are really great. And I thought that they were really funny playing these big caricatures of themselves in the film.
Yeah, I thought they did a good job.
Yeah. And it wasn't as awkward as it sometimes can be when you have someone from sports or singers acting, even acting as themselves. And I thought all of them did a good job.
Yeah.
It was just really weird at how heavy-handed it was with them in this.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah. And to this extent, like I wasn't expecting them to be in almost all of the music that was just happening throughout the film. I just thought that they're a plot device. Like they needed a ticket to a show, and that happened to be the show.
Yeah, honestly, their bizarre breaking into song and harmony is one of the better parts of the film. I feel like at this point, we should probably just jump into shenanigans.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, shenanigans.
Shenanigans!
This film does start with a pretty tight intro.
Mm.
We have our meet cutes. We have a magical Christmas moment in an airport lounge. We have a year later. We have a breakup. We have debriefing with a best friend. All of that happening in the first 20 minutes. So nice and tight at the start. Honestly, well done.
Yeah.
And then everything kind of goes insane.
That was my experience of it as well. It was weird. There were parts where I felt like it was really dragging out as well. I was lacking some energy. It's like, I get this is what we're on. We're going to have a whole bunch of like different little adventures to try and get this one thing. Like, I get that's what we've signed up for with this, but it just felt really slow oftentimes.
I think a lot of that is because of a lack of commitment to a main storyline. And so we're getting so many fractured pieces. There's not enough time to feel excited about any of them.
Yeah.
Every time we are introduced to a character we actually really enjoy and think that they're going to be a part of this journey, they're ripped away from us, kind of. At least that was my experience of a lot of it. Like, it felt too much like these characters were getting thrown onto each other and that there wasn't enough of a connection between the two of them to warrant the switcheroo.
That makes sense. It was more happenstance that she just comes along with him instead of there being more tension at the top where she hires him. I don't know.
Yeah, she doesn't even acknowledge him.
Yeah.
He recognizes her. He remembers, and she doesn't remember shit. She's just like, okay, yeah, get me a ticket.
I would have liked to see more of the best friend. I'm trying to think of other films like Someone Great, which I wouldn't classify as rom-com, but it is also in search of a ticket kind of film. But I just felt that there was more growth in our lead and her interpersonal relationships in that. And I didn't mind that we were introduced to characters and then didn't see them again, but it was because it was her and her two friends. So there are some characters that we're pulling along through. And I think because of the pacing, I didn't mind that we see, for instance, RuPaul for like 10 minutes and never again. And we see several other characters as she's trying to get this ticket and never again. But I think it's because she's more fleshed out as a character.
Yeah.
And pacing stuff as well.
And speaking of RuPaul, this lip sync battle should have been better.
Yeah, it really should have.
They phoned it in.
Travesty.
It was not good. I was really upset.
It was very disappointing.
Because I got to the end and I was like, okay, so this queen looks incredible. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, stunning.
You're barely dancing. There is no death drop. There is hardly any voguing. I don't know what is happening right now, but I've watched plenty of RuPaul's Drag Race, and this is not fun enough.
No, it wasn't. It was kind of flat.
I have been in divey basements of village bars for like deep underground, working your way up the circuit drag shows that were significantly better than that performance.
Yeah, no.
May not have the production value because that was a really beautiful costume. And the other people are supposed to be Broadway understudies.
No.
Don't put that in the film if you're not going to commit to it. It was not enough.
Also with that, a lot of how they just staged it, just practically, wasn't good for the audience watching. They're facing each other for so much of it. And there's actually very little lip syncing for a lip sync performance.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't win.
Yes.
Because they shouldn't have.
They shouldn't have placed, to be honest.
Yeah. And I'm just disappointed because that could have been a moment for really, really, really fun lip sync battling.
Yeah.
Don't do it if you're not going to go all the way.
Yeah. The prizes were so funny though.
Yeah, I love the prizes.
First prize is Pentatonix tickets and second prize is a weekend spa retreat.
That's so much better.
Exactly. And just financially probably more costly.
We're living in a universe where the Pentatonix tickets are like $800. Unbelievable.
Silly. The cousin just like fully taking the prize though, being like, I believe this belongs to me. Bye.
Well, good, because the cousin and the two rich people are the best parts about the movie. The cousin slays.
The cousin is so funny. When he's like eating creme brulees and having heart-to-hearts, isn't going to help you get those tickets. Come rehearse. Chop, chop.
I love that so much. Just more silly shenanigans. Waking up in the morning and the cousin has those under eye patches.
Yes, I like that detail.
Under eye patches are before bed, not first thing in the morning. What are we doing?
And Teddy saying like, yeah, it gets really competitive. Last year, the runner-up slashed the tires of the winner. And the cousin being like, well, to be fair, I was robbed.
I slashed one tire. I mean, based on the very short amount of dancing that Teddy's cousin does while trying to teach them a routine, Teddy's cousin was robbed.
Yes.
So funny.
Back on some Pentatonix shenanigans is when one of the members says, oh, you don't need a facialist. Your skin looks amazing. And he's like, yeah, that's why she can't be mad at me.
Yeah, it needs to stay amazing. I also loved a bunch of their quotes. So the band has been following the misadventures of Layla and Teddy trying to get a ticket the entire day. Apparently, Teddy has been nonstop messaging their group account.
DMing them, which is unhinged.
Unhinged, that you think any of this is going to work. But he's doing it, and now they're all invested in their love story. So Pentatonix is like constantly checking in, seeing how it's going.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things is later in the film, one of them says, we're not just reading the text, we're reading the subtext. And also, earlier, sometime in the middle of the film, Scott, I wrote his name down because I was very impressed with his wisdom, but Scott decides to reference Brene Brown.
Yes.
And the fact that Layla should perhaps consider staying single for a while, and he's right.
Yes, he is.
She needs to heal before she jumps into something, but she don't do that, and also the rest of the band is messy and doesn't want to hear it from him. So, shout out to you.
They just left him on the couch all by himself.
With his correctness.
Yes. It's hard to be right.
But you were.
Sometimes it's very lonely. Scott, we support you. The side of sanity.
Side of sanity.
It was also very funny how invested the group got into this whole thing, to the point where they're picking sides, debating whether or not to actually give the ticket because she's supposed to be with Teddy. No, she needs to decide. Like, it's all very entertaining and very messy.
Yeah. So crazy.
Oh, and another thing that Scott does was when Teddy comes in and he's meeting all the members of the group and he's freaking out because he's so excited because he's also a fan. And he's like, wait, where's Scott? Scott is creeping up behind him.
Amazing. I'm going to jump into my being really annoyed at showing exterior shots that aren't in the place.
Oh, yes.
That you're filming.
Mm-hmm.
It is extremely easy to just show shots of people walking down unnamed streets from one side. Generic city is perfectly acceptable. What makes me mad is when you dress up a subway station and put signs on signposts that are, number one, the signposts are the wrong color. Those are blue signs. Nowhere. I don't know anywhere in New York City that uses blue signs. Never seen it. Doesn't exist. Then you're going to dress up the subway station and say 34th Street with the BDFM orange trains and the NWQ yellow trains. And you're going to show an exterior shot that isn't Herald Square.
Yeah, bananas.
If I'm not seeing Macy's,
Yeah.
an insanely busy intersection, like that H&M on the corner or the now empty lot that used to be a Victoria's Secret, then you're not in Herald Square.
Oh, did that Victoria's Secret close?
Yeah, it's closed now.
Ah.
But see, you know what I'm talking about.
Of course I do, because that's where it is.
That's not what that station looks like.
No. Also, everything is way too clean for it to be New York.
Oh, absolutely.
It's very, 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 very clean.
Shout out to Toronto. It looks like a beautiful city.
It is a beautiful city.
I don't blame you for filming there. That seems like a much nicer place to film than New York City, and this is my home. But don't pretend. I like my city dirty. I'm here on purpose.
It's intentional dirt, damn it.
Yeah, builds character.
Okay, I guess we need to talk about the logistics. of this concert thing, meeting James.
Okay.
Why? All of the why.
Yeah.
It's hard enough for me when I go to a bigger event that's not at one of the smaller theaters to meet someone who I'm intentionally meeting up with because we got tickets together.
Yeah, exactly.
That requires texting coordination. I'm here. Are you here yet? Okay, meet me at wherever the specific couch.
Right? Like, meet me by the staircase. Which staircase? The west staircase? At the bottom?
Yes.
At the bottom. It's so complicated.
Exactly. That requires so many logistics. Another thing is this theater is way too teeny tiny for this massive group. We were in such a small theater. For a moment, I thought we weren't even going to cut to a crowd because they started with these close-ups of the group.
No, actually, that was one of the only things I thought was reasonable, is that they're in that theater, and that's why that concert sold out.
But if they're so popular, why are they in such a small theater?
Because scarcity.
It's the hottest ticket.
That's why the tickets are $800.
Okay.
That's the only way that any of that previous stuff made sense to me, is that they were in a 500-seater, not at the Garden.
Which is where they place. Anyway, that didn't make sense to me. And even though it was a smaller venue, still, you guys haven't exchanged any information. How are you finding each other?
Yeah.
Was the plan for you just both to wait outside and hope? Like, he could have said, meet me at the ticket office or something. Still highly unlikely, but I will buy that a bit more.
Yeah, I think that part of it was the beautiful whimsy of their meet cute and leaving it mysterious, and that if they're meant to be, it'll magically work out. But like, girl, why did you run into him with a bouquet of flowers and think that was for you?
Because she's built it up in her mind so much.
I assumed he would go inside and maybe try to run into her, or maybe try to take the stage and say something if he was actually there to meet her. The fact that he's outside immediately made me sus. The second they show actual James outside waiting for someone, I was like, oh, he has a girlfriend. He is not here for her.
I'm really glad that they gave him a girlfriend, though, because she has this whole speech to him. She doesn't even let him talk. She's just like, I'm so sorry. I'm sure you're lovely, but I'm in love with someone else. I gotta go get him, and like just runs away.
I loved that so much because he did a really good job acting like, I'm gonna be here for you, lady, but also on his face it's saying, I don't know who you are, lady.
And I love that his girlfriend was like, oh, was that the airport girl? And he's like, yeah. So it means they spoke about it, which I really like.
Well, they had to have, because if he's going to show up at this concert someone else told you about, you said you were going to meet up with her, you have to tell your now girlfriend, there's a possibility I'm going to run into this girl who thinks that we're meeting here because of love.
And the fact that he's starting there with this massive bouquet of flowers. My guy. It's just lucky that Layla did fall in love with someone else.
Yeah.
That would have been supremely awkward if she hadn't fallen in love with Teddy. Oh.
But it's also just like entirely unhinged in the world that we've created that she even thinks he's gonna be there for her.
She believes in signs, Jasmine.
I'm a big fan of Christina Milian's performance in this.
She's great.
I think she plays a beautifully sweet and endearing principal in a rom-com. And I really hope she gets more rom-coms because I think that she has the ability to do something super beautiful, and I just don't think this was the one for her.
Yeah.
Or just give her a rom-com where she plays opposite Kofi.
Mm.
They had real good chemistry.
Yeah, they did.
Bummer.
Oh, this is funny. So Teddy gets pepper sprayed accidentally by Layla trying to buy the ticket from the scam artist who's selling last year's ticket.
Yeah.
She brings him some milk and he's like, oh, thanks. How did you know I like milk?
Starts chugging it.
And she's like, it's for your eyes. Also, is it possible to get a glass of milk at a bar?
It is, but it's unlikely.
That's what I thought.
It just kind of depends on the bar.
Because I'm sure for some cocktails and stuff you'd use milk.
Like-
it looked kind of like a dive bar.
Yeah, is there a kitchen? Maybe the other consideration would be, is this a place that really loves to sell White Russians? Because then
Yeah.
maybe you're getting a glass of cream.
Anyway, it was really funny.
It's so weird. Maybe they have holiday eggnog, so there's like milk ingredients in the place.
That makes more sense.
I'll make it work. Don't worry.
You'll circle that square.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with the subway station being wrong. By the way, because this would have been an easy fix. Like, what would be a good example? They could have said that that station trains, instead of having it be 34th Street, a very recognizable busy intersection, like have it be some like slightly more obscure train station, either up or downtown a little bit more. If you had told me that they were outside of Battery Park, it doesn't look exactly right, but I'd have given it to you.
Yeah. Or that new track on the Yellow Line where they've like upgraded some of the places so it's slightly cleaner and more quiet.
Yeah. The other thing that kind of drove me a little bit bonkers is all the additional shenanigans that they lumped into such a tight amount of time on the way to Teddy's mother's house.
Yeah.
We did not need to do all the things that we did. Like, the scalper was really fun. I think keep that. And then I wrote, who are these rich people?
Where did they come from? What's the connection?
I'm willing to let that slide as well, but then I think what should have happened is perhaps like, turns out they can't actually help you, but the wife gives you the dress anyway, so that's the reason why we'll keep that. Because once we go to the Chanel store to try to get this stupid purse, I was not having any of that scene. I don't know why it's there.
Yeah, I also could have done without the whole sugar plum handbag frenzy. Teddy asks out a girl. Layla talks to the son and father.
Yeah.
Teddy standing up to the snobbish rich lady.
Yeah.
It's the last bag. Everyone run for the display and fight.
And then they give the bag to this other guy. It's too convoluted, and I don't feel generous towards Layla or that man. You're in a Chanel store. That bag is thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't relatable. You haven't made any of these characters more relatable. She's literally just lost $800.
Yeah.
She's throwing around money like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And you're not here for you. You're here to help that couple get the bag. I really could have done without any of this. I don't think it makes any sense.
We could have had that much shorter, and this is where some of the pacing issues came up for me, as well as, I don't know if you had this experience as well, in that scene in particular, there was a lot where we were taking much longer on a specific angle, on Teddy especially, cutting back and forth, and we were just lingering on there way longer than is necessary.
Yeah.
It was distracting.
Don't spend all this time and energy creating establishing shots of Teddy having chemistry with the shop girl when that's not an active plot of the film.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be giving Teddy more chemistry with another woman than the lead.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. I kept writing, whose story is this? To have all of that happen, to presumably say that Layla's a good person who deserves to go to the Pentatonics concert or whatever. Teddy says, you just need a change of headspace. Suddenly we're in a carriage.
Wild. Those things are so expensive as well.
Yeah, those pedicabs are mad expensive. And assuming that we're at the Chanel store on 5th Avenue, so in the 50s, going to 125th, if you're taking a carriage all the way up there, gosh, that's going to be like an $80 carriage ride.
For why? For what?
For vibes.
So that he can look at her and say, this is beautiful, the park is beautiful, but he really wants to say that she's beautiful too.
And again, like, I don't mind this. I actually think it's really cute. I think the scenery is lovely. I like the idea of the carriage. I just could have used with some edits.
Yeah.
They did too many things. I wish they had just gotten in the carriage after the rich people.
Yeah, they were like, we'll call you a cab. Oh, there are no cabs available. We'll have to take the carriage.
And the rich people probably live in the Upper West Side or the Upper East Side. So
Yes.
they're in the upper 80s on one side of the park or the other. And that's significantly closer to 125th Street. That makes sense.
I have 2 more shenanigans and then I'm ready to move on.
Sure.
So we have Layla getting ready for the show. She's busy doing her makeup and a message comes through from the concierge place with this questionnaire about like how Teddy's done. And the friend's like, no, I'll do it for you. You contour, I'll answer the questions. One of the questions, Layla just goes on and on about how sweet and kind he is and how Teddy went out of his way and he's actually a pretty good kisser and everything. And the friend is just like, it's a yes or no question. So
I love both of those women, and I want them to be in another rom-com stat.
their chemistry was so great.
And I think that they really delivered on a very tough script.
Yeah.
They both nailed it.
I bought them as friends.
Yeah.
It was so great. Their chemistry was so natural. They were very funny together. And then, okay, this is like a very nitpicky Jane thing for my last shenanigan.
Sure.
But ramekins are more often than not sold in a batch of 6.
Yeah.
It's very unusual for you to get 7.
No, it bothered me too that there was 6 inside of the oven.
Okay,
I noticed that. I
I'm
counted
so
6 and I went, what? So it's like a set of 8? Just like didn't make one of them?
I'm so glad you noticed this as well.
That bothered
It was
me.
driving me crazy. I was like, he's lost one to Layla. And now at your mum's house, you're making the creme brulees and you have 6? No. Were you buying them like one each because they're novelty?
And even if you were buying them one each, who buys 7?
Yeah. Who's buying 7?
You buy 8.
Yeah.
Maybe you buy 10. Maybe you buy 12.
Wild.
That was weird to me.
Last year with my birthday episode, it was the berry coulis.
Yeah.
And this year, it's the ramekins.
The unplugged stand mixer.
It was cut. They cut the cord of the stand mixer.
Oh, yeah.
So they couldn't make the coulis, but the cake.
This is not how cooking works, but fine.
Which is so funny because I will suspend my disbelief for like crazy crap. But I draw the line at the 6 ramekins when she has 1.
That was a very reasonable line to draw.
Thank you.
Script supervisor should have been on set and paying attention to that. I think that's everything for me.
Okay, great.
That brings us to
A fun fab fail. I ended up on a festive because
That's generous.
no, because I had a lot of issues, but even though we're watching this like not at Christmas time at all, I still laughed a lot while watching it. So I say festive because I would have it on in the background while I'm doing other Christmas related stuff. I'm never gonna sit down and watch this again from start to finish. That's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I really did genuinely laugh out loud at some of the points.
Yeah, I put this for myself at a fine,
Yeah.
bordering on fail.
Yeah.
And that's because from my side, I didn't really think it was funny at all. I thought the best thing about it was a few of the secondary characters and some of the lines with pentatonics, but I didn't have enough fun even to want to have this be something that plays in the background. If it's going to be something that plays in the background, I would love either like more kookiness or more spectacle. It just fell really flat in a lot of ways for me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I probably would have kept it more of a fine if it wasn't for the fact that the chemistry just wasn't present enough for the 2 leads.
I would have liked more chemistry between the 2 of them for sure. I think what tips it into festive for me was that I did genuinely laugh at like a lot of the cousins' lines. It took me by surprise. And I enjoyed the pentatonics lines and like the music. So that's why I'm saying I'd have it on in the background while I'm doing some really intensive Christmas stuff. More to hear the music, I think.
Yeah. What I'm hearing is that you need to put the Pentatonics album on while you bake.
So
Yeah.
But I won't be seeking this out. That's why I didn't even make like a soft fun at all. If I wasn't going the festive route, it would have been like a fine for me.
I think it could have dipped into fun if we had, like I said earlier, the story thrust being about Layla and Roxy hanging out. Because I think Roxy or Teddy's cousin as Roxy's best friend instead could have been enough to make this a fun throughout. Not to say that it wasn't fun enough to watch Christina and DeVale. Is that his name?
Yes.
Not to say that it wasn't fun enough to watch Christina and DeVale as our leads go through the hijinks. I just think that the film wasn't served by having a secondary romance plot.
I get that, yeah.
More clarity in that one place would have made that more fun, I think.
And the thing with Something Great is that, yes, her ex is the reason why she's also trying to get tickets to this show to try and reconcile. But the story is so much more about her own personal growth and her relationship with her friends. So we see them on that journey.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would have liked to see more chemistry between the 2 leads for sure. Like she had more chemistry with the cousin and with her best friend.
And he had more chemistry with the shop girl.
Yeah, absolutely. I still think it's a really fun premise. It needed to be trimmed down a lot. And we just needed a little bit more energy overall, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
that leads us to our favorite section.
our favorite.
Yay! Give me the cheese,
Give me the cheese, please.
please.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It looks.
Did I go first? No. I think you went first.
Yeah, I think this is your turn to go first.
Okay, great. Now that we
Okay.
know. Countdown.
Yeah.
3, 2,
2, 1.
10 layer
dip.
Ah. It was one of those ones where I know exactly why you said what you said.
Yeah. Funny. Okay, tell me about this 10-layer dip, which I have a good idea
Great.
as to why you picked this as well.
During the holidays, we pull out all the stops.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to do a 7-layer dip. We're going to do a 10-layer dip, baby.
Doing everything.
And no one thought to ask the question, not can we do it, but should we do it? And so I do love a chip dip. Give me the layers if you want. But it's one of those things where, if I'm being completely honest, is so unnecessary.
Mm.
The amount of time and energy you spend on the assembly would probably be better served on something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I feel the same way.
Yeah. And in the same way, a 10-layer dip is an abomination. It's supposed to be a 7-layer dip. You didn't need to add the extra 3 layers. And honestly, while we're at it, if I can be completely direct, don't even bother with the 7 layers. Have the dip options out.
Yes.
And give me a hot queso. That's 2 ingredients, essentially, maybe 3, and just skip the other bullshit. Have the guac on the table, have the beans on the table if you want, have some jalapenos to dress it the way you want. Girl, this was too many things.
It gets so messy so quickly as well.
Yeah.
And unsanitary so quickly too.
It's just a mess. It looks really pretty, and that's where it ends.
Mm.
The same thing that I've said 100 times. Our romantic leads can't be just pretty, and I don't know that I got enough fun mess.
Mm.
Not in the way that's, like, satisfying.
Yeah.
Like, we got neurotic. I didn't see them having enough fun together.
Mm.
They were just dealing with each other.
Yeah.
And that's my messy, overly layered, convoluted 10-layer dip.
10 layers is too many.
It's too many damn layers.
If you're gonna layer something, 3 is my absolute max.
Yeah.
There's a really great one at Woolworths that is pesto, whipped feta, and sun-dried tomatoes.
Mhm.
It's divine. And that's where it should end.
Yeah, it's too much mess.
Yeah. I have chosen creme brulee, partly because it's in the film, but also, I don't know if this is divisive, but I'm not a big fan of creme brulee. To me, the most fun part about the creme brulee is making it. It's fun to make. It's complicated to make.
Yeah.
It's messy to make. There's so much that can go wrong if you don't do it properly. It can flop really easy right up until the end. And then, to me, the most satisfying part of the creme brulee is breaking it.
Yeah, that is the most satisfying part. That's the best part of the creme brulee. Too much work for just the crispy top.
Yes, to use the blowtorch, that is so satisfying and so much fun. And then to break it.
Yep. The best creme brulees I've ever had were in extremely shallow pans, so it was 50% crusty top.
Nice.
Not in that deep dish ramekin.
Those were really deep ramekins. They weren't the standard.
Yeah, that's basically all creme, no brulee.
Give me the brulee. So I wanted more brulee, is the moral of this give me the cheese, please.
Yeah, give me the crunch.
Yeah, give me more brulee on a creme brulee and in this film. I just needed more snaps, like the that's satisfying. I wasn't fully satisfied.
Yeah.
So that's why Meet Me Next Christmas is like a creme brulee.
Yay!
Yay.
Well, everyone, there you have it. That was our discussion of Meet Me Next Christmas.
Let us know your thoughts on the movie, any shenanigans we may have missed, or what cheese you think it is.
You can follow us on Instagram at shenanigansensoupod, or you can email us at shenanigansensoupod@gmail.com.
We hope you'll join us next time. And until then,
Sometimes you gotta take risks.
Bye.
Layla should have been broken up the moment her ex said, I would rather go see Macklemore. Roxy's right. That is a red flag.
100%.
I don't like that.
She said it was a tradition, but he wanted to see Macklemore instead. But she's saying he didn't even know about Pentatonics. No, that was James. There were too many men in this.
One too many. And you let him buy Macklemore tickets?
Why didn't she sell the tickets? Sell the tickets already, damn it.